every one of us can achieve so much if we really engage with life and really try, really put ourselves into it. If we're motivated because we know how much potential we have and we believe in our ability to achieve it. And that's the truth, because we do have the ability to achieve it. And our past history has no impact on who we are, has no impact on our potential. And if we are clear, if we make the decision to be clear about the fact that it doesn't have any impact on our potential, then it won't have any impact on our potential. Because the only way it can impact our potential is if we allow it to incorrectly color our perception of ourselves. And then it's that incorrect perception that's changing our potential. It's not the history and the baggage itself that's actually affecting our potential. And going into Yom Kippur, I think this is the decision that can really make all the difference. Is to be clear, who is it that we are? Who is it that I am? What is it that defines who you are? And if you're clear about what it is that defines who you are, then it doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what I've done. Not saying that the actions don't matter, but they have nothing to do with who we are. And if what I've done has nothing to do with what I am and who I am, and if what you've done has nothing to do with who you are, then it has no impact on your ability for the future. It has no impact on the realistic ability that you have to do teshuvah, to really regret those things and decide, you know what? Yes, I do believe that I can have a different future. I can make everything of myself that I know I have the hypothetical potential. I can do it for real because that history has nothing to do with who I am. And that decision to have the really correct view of who we are and what makes us who we are, that decision really does give us, it doesn't immediately give us a clean slate, but it gives us a personal clean slate in terms of who we are, which then really can give us the energy and the belief in ourselves and the motivation to clean our slate historically in terms of our behavior, in terms of our baggage, to do teshuvah. And ultimately that's really what teshuvah is, right? We think of teshuvah as repentance. The translation of the word teshuvah is to return. Return to who we really are, because nothing we've done has anything to do with who we are directly. Those are actions that were performed by the person that I am. Those are actions that were performed by you, by the person that you are. But the actions are not a part of who you are. Which means that as long as we're clear on, I'm clear on who I am and you're clear on who you are, and we're clear on the fact that our past behaviors are separate to who we are now a person who can clean that up, who can return in our direction to the future to who we really are, and to redirect our behavior and to really actually clean our slate, to have a true clean slate. And if we can come into Yom Kippur with that perspective, Yom Kippurim, the Day of Atonement, coming into Yom Kippur with that perspective means that we really, that the power of this day will atone us and will cleanse us, and we will come out on the other side truly clean, with a truly clean slate and with a truly fresh start. Because there's no reason we can't. There's no reason that any person in the world cannot completely put the past in the history basket and move on with a fresh start. As long as we understand that the past isn't a part of who we are, then there's nothing holding us back. The only thing that can stop us is the incorrect belief that that has become a part of who we are. And knowing exactly who it is that we are and what it is that makes us who we are means we won't be deceived by the past. We won't have an incorrect perspective of ourselves, an estimation of ourselves that will ultimately effectively reduce our potential, because it reduces our belief in ourselves, it reduces our motivation, and then it reduces the degree to which we put in effort and try. And when we have that accurate view of ourselves, we have a more accurate perception of ourselves. We have a more accurate self-identity. And we now have the true, full potential that we have. Practically, we have our realistic practical potential becomes unimaginably large, because that's the potential that we really have. It really is that great. And when we have the correct understanding and view and a perspective of who we are, then there's nothing holding us back from that potential. And when we have that real view of our potential, we believe that we can do it. We know correctly that we can do it. And when we believe we can do it, we can feel a real, true, authentic motivation, because we believe that it's worth trying, because we know that we can. And that belief, the knowledge and clarity of who it is that we are, and the clear gap, the separation between what we've done and who it is that we are, allows us to know and believe that we really do have the potential that we have, which allows us to realize that it really is worthwhile to try, because there is nothing holding us back. Whatever potential we had before we started is the same potential we still have. Nothing we've done had any impact. There's nothing holding us back. And when we know that, we understand that, and we believe it, we can feel the motivation to try, because we know that we can make it happen. And when we feel that motivation to try, we feel interested to try, that's when we actually can realistically make it happen. And so it's imperative that we don't conflate what we've done with who we are. And if we can make that decision to keep that clarity and the distinction clear between what we've done and who we are, that's when the magic happens. And that's when our hypothetical potential also becomes our practically realistic potential, because there's nothing holding us back. And leading into this Yom Kippur, I pray for myself, for you, for every one of us, and for all of us collectively, that we can achieve and maintain this clarity in the distinction between our behavior and who we are. And that we can maintain and develop and strengthen an accurate self-perception, an accurate self-identity. And that we can really be realistically and practically able to live up to that potential that we have, and to clean our slates, because we know that we can. We know that the slate is not a part of who we are. Our baggage is not a part of who we are. And when we know that, we know that we really can move past it and turn things around, do teshuvah, return to who we really are, and make that the way our life is going forward. We can do that, and when we know we do that, we believe we can do it. There really is nothing holding us back, because the only thing that holds us back is the lack of belief that we can. So if we can make that happen, establish that clarity of understanding, strengthen that, continue to build, and to decide that we're going to focus on that, and focus on it every day, and focus every day 1% more, the impact that will have across the spectrum of our lives. When we feel motivated, we know and believe that we really can live up to that hypothetical potential that we have. Our hypothetical potential is not hypothetical anymore. It's real. Because nothing can impact that. Nothing can get in the way, and nothing can hold us back. And when we can live with that view and perspective and identity of ourselves every day, and build on that 1%, 0.1%, 0.01% every day, think about what the entirety of our lives will start to look like, and the change that will happen every day, the change that will happen over the course of a week, a month, a year, as that belief in ourselves, the correct and accurate belief in ourselves, and the motivation that it drives, the interest in trying and moving forward and growing and achieving that's driven by that, across the spectrum of our lives. Think about the change that we'll see. Think about the person we'll become practically and behaviorally. Think about what our lives can start to look like if we just can maintain that clarity on the distinction between what we've done and who we are. and the fact that what we've done has no impact on who we are and no impact on our real life potential today. And when we remember that, it really can, in a very real way, change the course of our lives. And that can be the thing that makes or breaks whether we really make the most of Yom Kippur because we believe in our ability to turn things around, to do teshuvah, to return to our true selves, to return to our purpose, to return to the purpose of existence. And when we know that we really can and we believe that we really can, there's no reason we can't, and there's nothing holding us back. And there's nothing holding us back from moving forward, from growing, achieving, filling our lives with a sense of fulfillment, a sense of satisfaction, a sense of achievement, and all the positive emotion and well-being that comes with that. And there's nothing holding us back from being everything we were born to be. If you haven't yet, click on the subscribe button, then click on the notification bell to see future videos. And please, again, share the link wherever you share things on social media, Facebook, wherever it is, WhatsApp groups, WhatsApp status, to help this message reach more people. This has been the Bites of Judaism podcast. This podcast has been made possible by Mr. and Mrs. David and Malki Smetana. If you found it valuable, please leave a 5-star rating and a review. It really does help it reach more people. And tell your friends about it. If you haven't yet, you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms at rabbiglick.link/podcast. To dedicate a future episode of the podcast, send an email to podcast@rabbiglick.com. See you next time.